I am so sorry. I've been running late all day long. All right. I want to thank our readers tonight, Sandy and Wanda. Thank you for greeting. And every week I want to share a little piece of creation spirituality because we are part of that group. And so this is the quote for this week. It says, just to be a blessing, just to live is holy. Let me say that again. Just to be a blessing, just to live is holy. And that quote is from Abraham Herschel. And he has said that about creation spirituality. All right. Please join me in the call to prayer. Hold fast to dreams, for if dreams die, life is a broken-winged bird that cannot fly. Hold fast to dreams, for when dreams go, life is a barren field, frozen with snow, by Langston Hughes. All right, I have a couple of, Nancy, would you hand me my phone? I have a couple of announcements. One very happy announcement is that Les Howard turned 90 a week or two ago. Yay. And what I'd like to do, if Donna Horton can help me, we'd like to send around a piece of paper, and if you're open to putting your birthday, your name and your birthday on there, please do that. You don't have to put the year, just the month and the day. We want to acknowledge birthdays. Do we have any other birthdays in August? Anybody here tonight? Donna, would you get a piece of paper, and if you're open to it, we'd like to send you a birthday card. All right, the other two things I have, let me see if I can. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Peter, his brother, very ill. Thank you. Okay. Donna, can you add that to the list, our list? Peter Moore's brother. Okay. Okay, thank you, Liz. All right, I'd like to read a text I got from Deborah Lester. She said, could I request prayers for my great nieces who came to Star from the time they were 4 or 5 years old until their mother moved them to Greer. Last year was the first year at least one of them did not participate in the Christmas service. Haley, who is 22, is a newlywed, and let me know Friday that she once again has a twisted bowel. Star prayed her through many hospitalizations for this same condition through intermediate school and junior high school. But she has been clear through high school and college. She's set for more tests this coming Monday. And my dear Hannah, 18, has had many surgeries on her twice broken elbow since the first break at age 5. Since late winter this year, Star has seen her through several hospitalizations and misdiagnosis. Now the doctors at MUSC have diagnosed her with multiple endocrine neoplasm. Les, did I say that right? Okay. A genetic disorder that causes benign and cancerous tumors. She has many tumors throughout her body, and she didn't say if the doctors have found if they're cancerous or not, but I worry most about the one on her lymph nodes and the implications. She didn't answer me about the treatment plan, but they are working on it. Would you please pray for her? So we'll pray for both of them. I did see David Heatherly and Rita this week. David is in rehab over at North Grove. He expects to be able to go home in the next week or so. He said that he is improving, but still has a long way to go. And they have asked for extra prayers. So we'll pray for them as well. Any other announcements that I'm not aware of? Okay. We'll continue to pray for Peter and his brother. All right, at this time in our service, we'd like to light candles. So I'm going to ask for a volunteer to come and light the community candle. And then if you would join me in, if you would join me in lighting a candle for either someone you know or the prayers that we've just talked about. Okay. All right. Can someone come and help me? And tonight we also pray for the Olympics, which is winding up tonight, and we pray that people would be able to get home safely. Thank you so much for being here tonight. These are the holy words that we will share. According to the biblical story, Pharaoh had a dream that no one could interpret for him. His chief cupbearer then remembered that Joseph had interpreted a dream for him when he was in prison 2 years earlier. This scripture is taken from Genesis chapter 41. Tonight, our reflection is about dreams. It's a service that Catherine and Andy have put together, and Bill will say a few words after they speak.
I chose to dive into the ancestral roots to find the similarities, if there were any differences between cultures with dreams. Dreams are by their very nature are open to various interpretations. In the Western world, dreams have been studied and analyzed by well-known neurologists and psychologists such as Sigmund Freud and Carl Jung. Dreams can be interpreted as the unconscious thoughts and desires of an individual or merely reflections of day-to-day life. I chose Maori, Native American, Japanese, and Hawaiian culture to compare the general interpretations and meanings of each culture, how they decipher each of them. The Maori indigenous people of New Zealand have a rich tradition of interpreting dreams that is deeply intertwined with their spiritual beliefs and cultural practices. They have been recounted in narratives of the past as signposts for events or as ominous warnings. In the 19th century, dreams were sometimes written in personal manuscripts from their ancestors or tipuna. Dreams or moa are not merely personal experiences, but are also seen as connecting the dreamer with their lineage and the broader community. The Maori utilize various symbols and motifs that are unique to their cultural context. For instance, specific animals, places, or people appearing in dreams can carry particular meaning that need to be understood in the context of the dreamer's life and the community's current circumstances. The process of interpretation often involves consultation with elders or spiritual leaders who are considered knowledgeable in these matters. Dream interpretation is closely linked to their holistic view of health and well-being, known as ha'ura. A troubling or reoccurring dream might indicate an imbalance or an issue in the dreamer's physical, mental, spiritual, and societal states. By addressing the insights gained from dreams, individuals can work towards restoring harmony and balance in their lives. This holistic approach underscores the importance of dreams in maintaining overall well-being and connecting individuals with their cultural and spiritual heritage. Native American tribes place a significant emphasis on the interpretation and meaning of dreams, viewing them as vital connections to the spiritual world. The Navajo word for dream is nagi-zihilth. In many tribes, dreams are considered a form of communication with the ancestors, spirits, and deities. It is through dreams that individuals are guided destined, and informed. Dreams understood by some Native Americans are an extension of reality that anticipate events that will happen or can happen. They serve as a medium through which important messages, guidance, and warnings are conveyed. The interpretation of these dreams is often a communal activity involving elders and spiritual leaders who have the knowledge and experience to decode the symbolic language of the dream. This practice underscores the communal nature of Native American culture, where individual experiences are seen in the context of the wider community. The symbols of Native American dreams are deeply rooted in their natural environment and cultural heritage. Animals in particular play a crucial role in dream symbolism. For example, a bear might represent strength and introspection, while an eagle could symbolize a connection to the divine. These symbols are not universal, but are specific to each tribe's tradition and the dreamer's personal experience. The process of a dream interpretation often involves rituals and ceremonies designed to honor the message received and to seek further guidance from the spiritual realm. Dreams in Native American culture are integral to personal and community healing practices. They are used to diagnose illness, understand emotional or psychological issues, and find solutions to problems affecting the community. Shamans or medicine men and women are often playing a role to interpreting these dreams and prescribing appropriate actions or remedies. This holistic approach to health and well-being emphasizes the interconnectedness of mind, body, spirit. By paying close attention to their dreams, Native Americans seek to maintain harmony within themselves and with the natural world around them. Japan. In Japanese culture, dreams, or yume, may hold a special place in the collective consciousness, often seen as reflections of one's inner thoughts, desires, and fears. Traditional Japanese beliefs are influenced by Shintoism, Buddhism, and various folk practices which together shape the cultural significance of dreams. For instance, Shintoism regards dreams as a potential message from kami, or spirits, which can provide guidance or foretell the future. Similarly, in Buddhism, dreams are sometimes viewed as a manifestation of karma, offering insights into one's spiritual journey. Thus, dreams are often interpreted with a sense of reverence and introspection. One common practice in Japanese culture is the interpretation of the first dreams of the new year, known as Hatsuyame. This dream is believed to set the tone for the upcoming year and is considered particularly auspicious. Traditional symbols such as Mount Fuji, a hawk, and an eggplant are seen as especially fortunate if they appear in the Hatsuyume. I don't know about you, but I haven't ever dreamed about an eggplant. Anybody else here dream about eggplant? Okay. These symbols are deeply embedded in the Japanese culture and historical context. Mount Fuji representing ambition and success, the hawk symbolizing strength and foresight, and the eggplant indicating good fortune and prosperity. The appearance of these symbols is taken seriously and often shared with family and friends, reflecting the communal nature of dream interpretation. Japanese culture and their dreams are integrated into artistic expression, literature, and poetry, serving as a rich source of inspiration and creativity. Contemporary Japanese society still values the insights provided by dreams, with many people consulting dream dictionaries and interpreters to understand their nocturnal visions better. Hawaiian. The Hawaiian culture, moe uhane, means soul sleep or dream. Hawaiians traditionally believe that dreams can be messages from the gods, ancestors, or spirits, providing guidance, warnings, and insights. This belief is deeply rooted in the Polynesian heritage of Hawaiians, where the spiritual world is intertwined with the physical world. Dreams are seen as a way to receive wisdom and direction, and they play a vital role in decision-making and problem-solving within the community. The interpretation of dreams in Hawaiian culture involves understanding the symbols and motifs that appear in the dream. These symbols are often connected to the natural world, such as animals, plants, and natural phenomena which are considered to carry specific meanings. For example, seeing a specific type of fish in a dream might be interpreted as a sign related to fishing or the ocean's health. The process of a dream interpretation is often guided by kahuna or spiritual leaders who have the knowledge and expertise to decipher the message contained in dreams. This practice highlights the communal and holistic approach to community in Hawaiian culture. Dreams are also a crucial aspect of healing and well-being in the culture. They are used to diagnose illness, understand emotional or psychological issues, and find solutions to problems affecting individuals or the community. The concept of ho'oponopono, a traditional Hawaiian practice of reconciliation and forgiveness, often involves discussing dreams to uncover hidden issues and restore harmony. This holistic approach emphasizes the interconnectedness of mind, body, and spirit, and the importance of maintaining balance in all aspects of life. By paying close attention to their dreams, Hawaiians seek to live in harmony with the natural and spiritual worlds. Across all four of these cultures, dreams are widely regarded as vital connections to the spiritual world, conveying messages from ancestors, spirits, deities, personal desires, and fears. Interpretation is often a communal activity involving elders and spiritual leaders who use their knowledge to understand the cultural symbols present in dreams, with rituals, ceremonies, to seek further guidance. These symbols, particularly animals, are deeply rooted in the natural environment and cultural heritage of people. Dreams play a crucial role in the personal healing practices to the community as well, where they are used to diagnose illness, understand emotional and psychological issues, and maintain well-being and cultural connection. Thank you.
Working a dream. Since pre-biblical times, humans have heard the voices of gods in their dreams, and the dream was a key means of divine communication in the Bible. In his dreams, Jacob saw a ladder to heaven and wrestled with God. Joseph found his true identity in dreams. Samuel learned to understand voices speaking to him in the night, and through dreams, Nebuchadnezzar learned the fate of his dynasty. There are so many more biblical dreamers, right up to Pilate's wife in the New Testament, who was warned against harming Jesus. God spoke to humanity through dreams and enables some humans to understand their personal, spiritual, and political messages. In modern times, depth psychologists saw dreams as a shortcut to our unconscious, that largest part of our psyche that knows much we aren't consciously aware of. Perhaps the unconscious is just another face of the divine that teaches and guides us. Episcopal priest Bob Hayden wrote a book about dream interpretation titled Unopened Letters from God. Tonight, I want to talk about opening those letters, about just how people can understand their dreams. What sort of information might we get about what? How is it conveyed? How is it useful? Undertaking dream work rests on three basic assumptions. First, dreams communicate mostly in a non-verbal way. Occasionally, words will appear in a dream as dialogue or print. Then they demand our special attention. But usually, dreams are symbolic pictures. We see things and must figure out what they mean. These symbols emerge illogically from the flotsam and jetsam of our daily lives, and these images take on important new meanings in our dreams. Second, as Jung asserted, quote, one should never forget that one dreams of oneself in the first place, and almost to the exclusion of all else. Every character in the dream is some aspect of you. The overall message of the dream is a message for and about you. Third, you can find hints about the meaning of symbols in your dreams in dream symbol dictionaries or from the suggestions of others in a dream group. But in the end, you are the sole interpreter of your dreams. If an interpretation does not feel right to you, it probably is wrong. A sense of satisfaction with the dream interpretation is the best indication that you have understood your dream. Now, I'd like to look at two related dreams that I had during a key period in my life some years ago to illustrate how dream interpretation may work. This time in my life was when my first wife of 43 years had died. My life had always been centered on her, and her passing left me unmoored and lost. Who was I now without her? What should I do with myself? It was in this context that I had these dreams. I chose these dreams in part because I wrote about them in a poem about letting go, about the death of an old way before the birth of a new. I think this short poem I wrote is an adequate description of the two dreams. Here it is. After my wife died, I dreamed I fell from a ladder hung in a bright sky. As I plummeted, the ladder soared and shrunk to a point. I watched it disappear. A stranger came and helped. Finding no brakes, he took me to a skyscraper to look for the ladder or something. With wayward logic, we started in the basement, a search I later understood in a dream when my wife came back to me after a wreck. Triaging, she kissed me, said I was all right, and left. I interpret dreams exactly the same way I do literature. I first see what's there, characters, plot, setting, theme, and so forth. Then I ask myself what these elements say to me. As an old English teacher, this is my natural approach. But each of us brings our own set of skills, interest, and knowledge to the task of interpreting our dreams. We each do it a little differently. There are several key elements in my first dream that beg attention: the ladder, the bright sky, the stranger, the skyscraper, and its basement. I came to see the ladder as symbolizing my marriage, my relationship. It had propped me up and sustained me. I had used it to grow and develop, to climb higher and higher on my human and spiritual journey, symbolized in the dream by the bright sky. In my dream, that ladder suddenly disappeared. My marriage, my support was gone, and I was falling. The stranger who came to see if I was hurt was a new me or a future me. He checked me out and found me able to go on. He pushed me back into action by taking me to the skyscraper to start looking for something. Dream dictionaries tell us that buildings are often metaphors for ourselves. The skyscraper was literally my way back into the sky, back to my personal and spiritual journey, a new thing to sustain me as I climbed higher. It was much more substantial than my flying ladder had been. It was my future. But the stranger took me down rather than up. We went to the basement to look for something. Psychologist Carl Jung tells us that basements, bodies of water, and other things we descend into represent the unconscious, our inner depths. Theologians might call this our divine spark or soul. It is where we go to understand ourselves and our place in the great unity of things. So to begin in the basement is to start with an attempt at self-understanding. We build up by going down in ourselves to our foundations. My second dream was about a multi-car wreck on the interstate. In it, smashed cars were everywhere and crash victims were lying in the median and road shoulders. In this dream, my deceased wife was a paramedic going through the victims, seeing how each was hurt and routing them to proper care. She checks me out and pronounces me sound. The wreck in this dream means the same thing as the fall in the previous one. I came through both dazed but unbroken. In the first dream, my new self makes the pronouncement that I'm sound and leads me forward. In the second dream, this judgment is made by my old self. There's a sort of inner consensus that I can and should go on with my life's journey. That is the point of these two dreams. I had been in a good, sustaining relationship, but it is gone. Grief has come and will stay. The wreck and the fall are not to be denied. Yet there is possibility and hope. The flimsy floating ladder is replaced by a rock-solid skyscraper rising from a deep and sound foundation. I can go into the skyscraper basement and learn from this experience. Then I can begin to climb the stairs of the skyscraper, perhaps eventually take an easier and faster elevator. There was a parting, and now there is a way back into the bright sky. The message is to resume my life's journey. So this is what an interpreted dream looks like. I haven't explained in any detail how to actually work the dream. Neither have I commented on how a dream group, a group of folks gathering to discuss their dreams, works. I have not described a dream journal, nor how to apply an interpreted dream to the specifics of one's life, nor what colors in dreams mean, nor a number of other things. This is a big and intricate topic, but perhaps these introductory comments have shown you a little of what might be found in those unopened letters from God. Thank you.
I thank you, Andy. That was a marvelous sharing, immensely interesting and very useful. When I was a freshman, I think first semester, my freshman year, it was kind of audacious. Can you imagine that? And I was given an assignment to explore the meaning in a few stanzas by this poet. And I pretty well failed miserably in this assignment. I got back because I said, "You come down on this like a Puritan sin hunter." And I laughed, and it was spot on, because rather than seeing what the poet, what she was trying to say, really trying to go at understanding her through her images and her voice, I launched into my own opinions and my own concepts, critical concepts that I guess I was too proud of in that kind of puer, inflationary, ego way. And I have found that I've cultivated an attitude. Dreams have been important to me all of my life. When I was a child, I was haunted by boogers in both my daylight consciousness and my dream consciousness. They were real. They blurred. I didn't distinguish between them. They were as real. And this was a pre-metaphorical way of thinking. They were literally real. And then later in encountering Carl Jung, and I've been a Jungian for decades, some of the things that happen in terms of dealing with those things, the anecdotes, fit into that Jungian construct. But I've gone a very different way. When I am in the domain of a dream, when a dream chooses to appear before me, I don't want to tell the dream what it is. I don't want to bring my concept or my construct, my insistence upon meaning, and capture it in a net, because that's an ego design. It's an ego construct from my daylight concerns. And the dream itself may have no interest at all in my particular problems in my daylight living. So what I attempt to do is to approach the dream with an attitude of respect and humility. And I try to have, or I have, the eye of a naturalist and a phenomenologist. I'm just observing. And I'm resisting, while I'm doing this, I'm resisting any impulse to interpret or give it a definition. And believe me, I'm a student of comparative religions, comparative mythologies, and then all the dream books, and all that's not an easy task to deflect that impulse to define it. But I resist that. I just look with the eyes of a naturalist or phenomenologist to get detail. What's going on? What does it smell like? Engage other senses, kind of, and register detail as you can, without opinions, without judgments. Oh, this is trivial. No, every little detail that you can, and then of course you wake up, and you're writing details on napkins. Stuff. Some of it is meaningless at the time, but I'm just looking at this dream with respect and humility, trying to get. I'm asking the dream, I may even ask the dream, what do you want? I choose to have the dream interpret my life instead of me from my ego consciousness interpreting the dream. When my ego consciousness too quickly rushes to an interpretation, I have thrown a net of abstract concept and typologies and construct over this dream, and I may have killed the dream. I no longer need the dream. and all of its nuances, all its peculiarities, because now I have a concept. If you're Jungian, you have a meaning. If you're a Freudian, a definition. And so you no longer need the dream. So this dream, which may have all kinds of rich details, you may never see. You may never see it again. You push it back down because you've got a construct now. You can go to your books. Oh, this means that. And, you know, we all have a cultural milieu that we come from, and that influences. And even though it pleases me to believe, and it's not just my belief, it's an archetypal psychological belief, that the dream, the soul, spontaneously is generating images and dreams. It's autonomous, it's free of the ego's concerns. It may give you some information that is helpful to your ego, but not necessarily. But you can nudge it by, I often will go to sleep, or I'll have a question, something that's really concerning me, and I'll pose a question. And maybe something comes out in the dream that might be a kind of answer or shed some light on it. But I love dreams. And I enjoy I have a close friend that for the last 2 or 3 years, we have conversations about poets and poetry and dreams, and we talk about the dreams in a very meaningful way. And what's happened to that tree that was growing out of your right shoulder? I mean, often there are these inexplicable details that defy categorization, and yet you don't ignore them. You just keep them there as sort of an unanswered question, and maybe it reveals, and maybe it doesn't. But it's an attitudinal shift. So I let the dream disclose its meaning to me. I don't want to top this front load with a lot of definitions. And so I find that to be a most gentle and useful way. You don't have to know the various typologies and the cultural definitions. I have had snakes in my dreams, and I've had some snakes that appeared in a very particular way, and they're bizarre. But I just let those images, I stay with the image. If you're an English teacher, you know the importance, stick with the image. When I was writing about that artist, prose or poetry, I wasn't sticking with the image. I was launching into my own abstractions. If you stay with the image, see it in as much detail. And even in writing papers, I learned, you use things from the text, phrases from the text. That's what your critique is coming out of. So you're dealing with the words itself. So you deal with the dream itself. So you get it all down in detail. And then over time, you see what resonates. Certain things may shine out to you. And there's times you finally just have to suspend your accounts with it. You don't have time to spend much with that. But I think that is the way your dream life can be, to me, a very richly and rewarding experience. And I know a few of you have had visions. I think there are many different things that can be going on in dreams. And I remember having a vision that was frightening, and it's still a frightening vision that came about 15 years ago, and it found its way into a poem. To have an aesthetic engagement with your dream, either a painting, Jung would have his patients sometimes create mandalas, or if you write a poem, that is a way of honoring that dream and creating a dialogue. But I don't want to tame this dream that frightened the hell out of me. It was a frightening vision, but I felt like Gaia was dreaming through me. It was more than my personal ego, contrary to that monotheistic Jungian thing. It was not just me in the dream. This was a larger experience. It was a vision, in my experience, my belief. It was something that was bigger than me. And it just happened to find its way through me. And I know some of you have had visions that are very beautiful and positive, and these are things that want to find their way out into the world. And so I would just say, engage your own dreams with that attitude of humility, honor, and respect. And it'll be surprising what may happen. Nancy, later.
we're at the time in the service when we pass the stars around, and I haven't, as treasurer, given any sort of financial report in a while, and I'm not going to give much of one tonight, so don't worry, but we're okay. We have been taking in more than we've been spending, and we are, as I think it's been pointed out from time to time up here, independent. We're dependent on ourselves, and so we ask, for your generosity to keep things going. What I'd like to mention just briefly, a couple of things tonight, is that when we had our council meeting where we planned the next year's services, there were a number of suggestions for bringing in outside people to put on programs, sort of like that sound bath program that we had not too long ago, which I thought was, really an excellent program and moved us into something we had not been doing before. Those things cost money. And so one of the things that we can use our treasure to do is to buy more experiences like that. We also spend on nonprofits in the community, and that's something we have been doing for a while and we will continue to do. We have it a little bit on pause now because this is a time of uncertainty. We don't know financially exactly what this transition into our new star was going to mean, so we're kind of being careful, but we will do that again. And so please share your treasure with us, if you will. Thank you.
Thank you so much for your generosity. I'd like to share with you the blessing of gratefulness. And then after that, Nancy and Bill have been kind enough to bless us with a musical benediction. We are visitors on this planet. We are here for 90 or 100 years at the most. During that period, we must try to do something good, something useful with our lives. If you contribute to other people's happiness, you will find the true God, the true one that we worship, the true meaning of life. And this is taken from His Holiness Tenzin Gyatso, the 14th Dalai Lama. Thank you, Bill and Nancy.
Barley rice, green pepper walls, and water ice, tables of paper wood, windows of light, and everything emptied into white. Simple garden with acres of sky, a brown-haired dog mouse with one crop pie, yellow dainty everything emptying into white. Sad blue-eyed drummer rehearses outside, a black spider dancing on top of his eye. Red-legged chicken stands ready to strike. Everything emptying into white. Built my house from barley rice, green pepper walls, water ice. Everything emptying into white.
Tonight, I failed to mention if we wanted to wash our hands. We can do that. I failed to mention the washing of our hands. If you would like to do that, the bowl is in the back. Feel free to do that as you wish. Also tonight, David Nelson is so wonderful about helping to break down the room. And he and Emily are not here. So if you would help us, do that before you leave. Go in God's peace. If there's anything, you're waving.
What are these for?
What are those? I can't see it from here. What, the card? Oh, they're just for encouragement. Just a word of encouragement for you. I have given those out in my workplace. People put them on their doors or their refrigerator. Just whatever gives you a word of encouragement for the week. If during the week you hear of anything that I need to know about, please let me know. All right, go in God's peace. Please keep all our folks in prayer, not only the ones that were mentioned tonight, but the ones that are in your heart. Go in God's peace. Amen. Namaste.